Hello, this is Batavia Mayor Jeff Schileke speaking to you on Friday, February 12th, 2021. And if you know the calendar, we are 2 days ahead of Valentine's Day on the 14th. So I'm just hoping that everybody has a nice Valentine's Day and that somebody special in your life does something meaningful for you and creative and sends a message of how much you mean to them. So that being said, I guess the topic in town right now is the vaccines for the pandemic, and I really don't have any more updates to report other than what I said last week. The best place to look for where to go get a shot or where you can register to try to get a shot is kane.health.com, or kanehealth.com rather, kanehealth.com. And capital K, lowercase A-N-E, and then health, lowercase H-E-A-L-T-H. And they are supposedly running a list there showing you where the phone numbers and where you can register. I've had a number of people tell me that they have registered at Walgreens or CVS or Walmart, and they think they're going to get it at the Batavia store, and they get an appointment for some other location. So I don't know what to tell you. As I've said before, there is a lot of frustration throughout the region and throughout the state about this. And my fellow mayors, it's a constant point of dismay about how the whole thing has kind of unfolded as far as the shots go. But I think it all gets back to the volume of vaccine that's available. And I guess from what I heard on the national news last night, the president is taking actions to order a whole bunch more so that hopefully everybody will be vaccinated, but it is becoming a long drawn out process, and you got to be continuing to be careful. So we want to urge everyone to continue to social distance, to wear your face mask, and I have one right here with me, but I take it off when I do this because I've been told if I speak with the mask on it impedes my voice. And again, please follow the rules until you're told differently. I know we have allowed the restaurants to reopen, and that's good. I know they are trying to socially distance in there, so I guess I'd ask everybody to be cooperative with them as they go about trying to do that. And we will continue to give you updates as we know them. As I say, it seems to be an ongoing conversation that doesn't seem to have a solution to it, but hopefully the day is coming when we will. Along those same lines, I just want to, as I almost become a weekly thing here, I want to continue to stress your support, which is very good, and activities surrounding both the Batavia Police and Fire Department. The Batavia Police Department is under just monumental additional issues as far as calls we're getting for a variety of things. Some of them don't pan out. There's a lot of people with concerns about other people, and there's a lot of it hitting us, comes over the computer or social media, and that's become a very problematic. It's almost like a crime zone where people cruise out there and try to figure out who they can go after and get their social security number or their driver's license number or their date of birth or whatever they're looking for, and then they try to do stuff imposing that they are this person on the computer, and they really aren't. So you got to be careful with that. On the fire department side, our fire department's having already a very busy year. We had a busy year last year, but this year we're getting a lot of ambulance calls, and that's the big thing we get is a number of people having various types of health emergencies. So please, if you see a red light coming down the street at you, please pull over and wait. And the other thing we would ask is if you've got a fire hydrant near your house, or I guess we're going to have another 5 inches of snow this weekend, that you go out and clear all the area around the fire hydrant for us. Many of the fire hydrants now, you put sighting identification poles on them, so there's just a wire that comes up and sticks out of the ground 5-6 feet so that the firemen can see it. And if some don't have it, and if either way, we'd ask that if you have a fire hydrant that you go about cleaning it. And again, as I said last week, we asked that if you got a sidewalk, a public sidewalk in front of your house, if you would arrange to have that cleaned off, because we have had people call and complain that so-and-so hasn't shoveled their sidewalk, and why can't the city give them a ticket and all this other stuff. So we're just trying to get through this and try to be as neighborly and supportive of one another. So if you can just do what seems to be the right thing of, cleaning the fire hydrant area and shoveling your walk and waving to your neighbors while you're doing it and saying a nice greeting to them, because most people aren't getting together very much because of the cold and the pandemic. Just be very cautious about that. I know one of the things we're having some discussions about is whether or not we're going to be able to have the 4th of July fireworks show again this year. Last year we had to cancel it because of the pandemic. It's our intention right now to think we're going to have the show. In fact, they're even getting ready to schedule the 4th of July community garage sale, which will be in May, I believe, is when we're talking about doing it. And if they go ahead with that, I will give you more information as we get nearer to the time. But that is, certainly a community tradition and an event that, it started in 1950, and so this past 20 was going to be the 70th year of it. And we didn't get to do it, so now we're in the 71st year, and we've still got the money in the bank, so we got the money to do it, but we do need to continue to fundraise because it gets more expensive every year. We have to buy insurance and fireworks and pay for a band and a bunch of other stuff. So again, if you're of mind, please don't hesitate to send in a donation just in care of the city of Batavia at 100 North Island Avenue. The money will get to where it needs to go. But we've got all those things kind of going on here, and obviously the big conversation, if you talk to people, is the weather beyond the pandemic. And today, as I wrap this up, I wanted to share with you a picture that we have in the archives. And this is a picture of the Main Street side of Batavia High School in January of 1967, when we had what was, I believe, the community record one-time snowfall, and I believe it was just shy of 28 inches. It was 27.6, I think, was the official amount. And this shows the Main Street entrance of Batavia High School. And I might note that since this picture was taken, I think the size of Batavia High School has been expanded by about 80%. And what was the front entrance now, I think, is probably the hallway to one of the classroom areas. It goes into there, but then there's a lot more hallway out in Batavia High School than there was originally. And I was in the very first class that went to Batavia High School in September of '66 when it opened. I was a senior that year, so I got to spend 1 year at the new building, which it was an honor to do. And the building, as they say, was much smaller, so when the snow came, the snow was out of the southwest apparently, and it drifted and blew all night long, so that it dumped more than 27 inches on the Main Street side of the building. In fact, it went all the way up to the roof. And so they dug out for the walkway, and then they took this picture showing the size of this, because as I remember folks saying, you're never going to see this again, and I don't think we ever have, maybe never will. But this is what 27 inches of snow plus drifting will do out on Main Street in 1967. So that's a classic historic picture, and many of the old timers who were here 50 plus years ago will remember this because this was a memorable moment. So with that, I'm going to end this week's presentation. Again, I remind you of Valentine's Day, and if your person you hold very near and dear to their heart's not in town, you should take a trip and take them to dinner or whatever, and at least send them a card and let them know you're thinking about it. So we've been doing a thing down here at City Hall where several groups in town have gathered people, bring cards down with signatures on them, and then they give them to seniors and whatever, some small children, I guess, and whatever. So that's about over with now, but we have really reached out as a community and really tried to make Valentine's Day a memorable and festive time. So again, stay with us, and I'll look forward to talking to you next week on February 19th. Have a great week. Thanks.